everyone. Or afternoon. It's Friday the 16th? 17th?
17th.
17th of July. We're out here in Hudson at the apiary of David Kane. He's a member.
New member.
Yep, so Aspet River Valley. We're at the tail end of the nectar flow, and we've got a couple of hives. David has 8 out here.
8.
Yep, 8 out here. We're going to go through 3 or 4 of them, and we'll see what we can see. We have a possible queenless situation in one of the hives, so maybe a laying worker. We'll see what's going on in that. As always, we have our smoker lit. We're starting off with our strongest colony, and here we go.
I know this super. I don't think that super will have anything in it, but let's hit it. Yeah, this was just put on a little bit ago.
So you added the super about a week or so ago?
This one was like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay. So we'll definitely want to keep track. David will definitely want to keep track of what they're doing here. Are they building out? Are they doing anything with it? You can always remove it so that the bees don't have to police this entire area, so that they're focused in. So what do we see? We see some bees over here, so basically from frames 2. I always count from the back of the hive 1 through 10. So 2 through maybe 7 right here. This is where the cluster is. There's no queen excluder, so probably gonna have some honey over here and possible brood down at the bottom of the frames, but we'll see.
So my goal here was to do 10 deeps, to leave that for the winter. And then if there's any additional, because this is a nuke, I didn't expect anything the first year, probably all theirs. But we'll see. And I usually start in on the second frame. I don't know if you...
Yep.
The key frame.
You can also space the first frame over a bit, and then break the propolis seal. Propolis is good. It is an annoyance for beekeepers, but it's an extension of the honeybees' immune system. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nothing
So
there.
we have some nectar going on over here. This is a plastic foundation frame, and we have some better bee comb over here, which is the sort of 3D printed beeswax frames that are already drawn. So they're artificially drawn and can give bees a nice advantage. You can see over here, frame 1, we have nice honey cappings on the left side of the frame. That looks pretty heavy from just the way David's hefting it, so we probably have nice cappings and nectar on the right side as well.
Not capped here.
Oh, not capped, but it's getting filled.
Interesting how they skipped over this one, because the better comb was ready, I guess.
Yeah. So again, very heavy, totally capped, and probably filled with nectar on the right side if it's not overly capped. Yep, capped. So you're looking at about 5, 6, 7 pounds of
It certainly feels
weight
it.
right there. And we have another plastic
Wow, they're not
frame.
building that one out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's interesting.
So do you have any more better,
Better comb?
yeah, better comb?
I was trying to get them to draw out some, and...
Victor Archilla.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. So I can continue to go through. I'll take your So at this point, we're at the tail end of the nectar flow, and they're probably not going to be drawing much more comb at all. So if you do have some drawn comb, you could probably replace the the plastic foundation or wax foundation, undrawn combs with drawn comb, or if you have better comb, that's something that you could put in. They're starting to draw this one out, starting to fill here. They're actually capping it in certain spots. So this is good. I'd leave this one in, but this frame is empty. So when you start thinking about fall manipulations, what I would do is turn this around so that the drawn comb is on the inside, the undrawn comb is on the outside, and put that back out here in frame 1, or the mirror side out here on frame 10. You want, obviously they have stuff here. You want to keep these resources for the bees. Oh, yes.
So
Back this way.
looking back, Tony, you'd say that this super probably should not have gone on here.
Probably not, and you don't have to take it off now.
Because they were in the same situation as the Saskatraz next door, and they just filled up right away.
Yeah, a different colony.
Yeah.
Right next to together. This was a nuke.
That was a package.
That was a package.
And the package
so
built up much faster.
the package started out a few weeks earlier, and then it hit the dry spell, so the nuke couldn't get going as well. I mean, they've obviously done pretty well here, but I would give them the better comb so that when we do get to a fall flow, they'll fill that. They're not going to draw undrawn frames right now. So we have another frame of honey. Yep, heavy, 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 heavy.
Bird chrome on it.
So we have some, looks like drone comb down here at the bottom. They'll draw.
Look what we did here.
Did they? Oh, yep. And you can shoot right down. So those are drones.
They were connected.
Yep. So I'm not seeing any. This one's undrawn as well.
They don't like that wax right foundation.
Well, what you can do is, when there's flow on, they'll use it. But if you take some melted wax or a wax candle, beeswax candle, and rub it over the face of the plastic, they're drawing this, they're filling this, but this side is practically untouched. So if you take a beeswax candle or some beeswax, or if you melt wax, then you can basically paint it on, but give them another coat. You can buy these double coated or triple coated with wax. That's always good. But when it's not a flow, they won't use it as much. And with the better comb, that's already drawn, so they can just automatically fill that. And again, nectar, capped honey. So we can put these frames back and then just delve right down into the brood area. This was frame 1.
Maybe even that out a little bit.
Oh, yeah. So when you're done working with a box, you want to press in on the 4 corners, keep everything tight. These are called Hoffman self-spacing frames because the the shoulders here and the bars. So this is bee space right here if it's held together. If it's not, if we were to pry this open and leave a gap, or if we didn't close it back up, the bees will start drawing larger comb and it just creates a mess. So take advantage of these self-spacing frames and keep them close together. I got this down good. Do you have another?
Let me get this corner and see if I can loosen it.
So the J hooks are very good for prying up and manipulating frames. The standard Hive tool, which looks like the crowbar, is their tips are usually a little finer, and you can get into the boxes to pry open the boxes a little easier. But there's nothing wrong with going either way. So David's going to lift that up and put it here. So immediately we can take a look. So we're going to look for where the bees are. They're across all 10 frames, but mostly over here. Around the center, this is the brood area. We can look at the pupae that were left behind. These were capped, I think. Yeah, so these would be pupae. I don't see any mites immediately on the surface. That's not
To say there aren't.
not to say that there aren't, but if you were to see a bunch of mites immediately, that's definitely a cause for concern, and you need to do something about it. But for now, until we do a mite count, they're doing okay. So again, you've been open for a while. They're doing pretty well. While David takes that frame out, I'm just going to come over here. And so we have some weeds up here at the entrance of the colony. And I know I'm in the flight path, but I'm just going to clear off the front. We don't want to make it easier for ants to come in or any other sort of pests. We want to make it easier for the bees to get in and out. So here we have a nice frame. Looks like we have some pollen. You expect that on the outside. We have some nectar that's getting filled in.
Look at the pollen.
Here you have a worker moving in with pollen on her cuberculae, on the pollen baskets in the back of her rear legs. And here on the outside, this is where, again, this was against the other honey face. We expect to see more pollen there. So, I'm sorry, nectar on that side and pollen over here. So if there's pollen, there's going to be brood nearby. And Emily, why don't you swing around over here?
So I'll make sure the queen's in here. I was going to set this one outside.
Or you can just put it right on top of the other, your top deep. You can just lay it horizontally.
Lay it flat?
Yeah. So we just brought it up. There's pollen on the face, and now we see, just looking down, you can see capped brood over here. The bees aren't going to store pollen far away from where the brood is. So we found brood, pollen, and then we have a nice.
And this started out as a nuke in May. Pretty good pattern.
Pretty good pattern. So here we have capped brood. It's hatching out. Then the queen came back. They hatched out, and now the queen laid. And there's some older larvae here that's about to get capped. And this is a black plastic frame. This is the frame that we would look to see if there are any eggs, because it has a black background and it's a lot easier to see
couple of queen cells, not
Yep.
nothing in them.
That's
that
pretty
one does.
extended, yep.
Yeah, that has something in it.
Yeah. So we found our first queen cell. So the difference between a queen cell and a queen cup is that queen cups are here, they're built out. Queen cells are being filled. There's a queen being raised in here. There's royal jelly.
Is there a larva in there?
I couldn't see with the camera, but
Yes, there's a larva in here.
Uh-oh.
So as we go through, if we start to see more and more queen cells, we definitely want to keep an eye out for the queen, because if we see the queen, then they haven't swarmed yet, and we can make a split, we can make a nuke. We have options. Have some drone brood down here at the bottom. So I'm not seeing any sort of younger larvae
Or eggs.
or eggs yet. So they may have already swarmed.
There's quite a bit of bees down the bottom. See, I use that
The
leaderboard.
so these are what's called a slatted rack
Slotted rack.
at the bottom. It has these bars that are just top bars, and it allows for hopefully increased ventilation. It also gives the bees more room so that when we have these thunderstorms come through or rain and all the bees come back, they still have space to cluster or hang, and they're not overfilled. So this brood area is, packed with bees, and when you have all the foragers come back, they still have a little extra room.
The problem is sometimes they bridge between them and it can
Oh,
damage
yes.
stuff. So I'm not sold completely on them yet. I don't know if you are. What do you think?
Well, I've had mixed results, so it's an advantage.
There's some uncapped.
Yeah, so we have some. So, bee timetable. We have capped brood. Brood is capped on day 9. We have some larvae here. So, a queen lays an egg. It's an egg for 3 days, and then from day 3 to day 9, it's larva. They're still coiled up. So we had a queen in here within the last, I'd probably say week.
Look at all that uncapped right there.
Yep. So we have some,
See if I can
Older
see some
larva?
eggs. Do you see any eggs, Emily?
they're backfilling over here, so maybe not on this frame.
yeah, there's eggs right here.
And yeah, can you get a
Yeah,
close up if possible?
yeah, I got some.
Excellent.
Yeah, so there's
All right,
eggs.
so she's
she's
here 3 days.
So in the last 3 days, she was here.
Maybe.
And usually, she would stop laying as they decrease her, as they cut back on feeding her, so she wouldn't lay as much in preparation of flight. So if we see eggs, then we probably caught this colony early enough before it swarms.
So would you knock down that cup then? That cell?
I wouldn't knock down anything until I found the queen and sequestered
Oh,
her.
we got two
Oh,
two
geez.
cells right there.
Yeah.
Right,
And
so-
not capped yet, but almost. Yep, these are well developed.
Look at that pollen. And this is last year's queen. This is a green queen.
Okay.
Maybe she left already.
Here, why don't you yeah.
Put it over there.
Yep, put it over there.
What
just
about
for
right
now.
here?
Oh, yep. That's perfect.
So what would
So,
you do if we spot her?
unfortunately, what could happen is the queen leaves the frames and she's down in
the
with the
rack.
slatted rack.
Yeah. That's another reason why I'm not sold.
You got another one.
So we have
That's 4.
That's
four.
a pretty long one.
two great queen, very long, very long. That's good. What you don't want is just to be sort of stubby. You want it to be really, really long. So what you could do, David, is make a split, leave the 2 queen cells or 3 queen cells on the other one, take this frame, the frame with the other single queen cell, split this colony in 2.
I got enough hives.
Well,
You want it?
what you could do is split this in 2, let them raise the queen, see how the laying pattern is,
See,
and then you could always use that nuke on one of your other colonies, or recombine them in the fall. Just take out the older queen, you have a new young queen right here, and go that route.
see, the problem with a slatted rack is you could damage that cell putting it back.
Yep.
So, you know,
Have to be very careful.
we should probably do a wash on this one, right?
Yeah. But first, let's see if we can spot that queen.
Another good pattern.
This
Yeah.
is about to
This
explode.
great pattern.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that side. Wow.
Is it too late probably to do a split because you were saying there's about to be a dearth or?
We are in a dearth, but they've already fed and raised the queen.
Okay.
So, when you make a split, you need to start feeding it. Feed it pollen. Well, the queens will have to go out and get mated.
Yeah.
Feed it pollen, feed it nectar, and have it possibly start to build out some comb. And again, David has a hive which he thinks may be queenless. We're going to look at it later. So we can always take one of these frames that has has 2 queen cells and put it into the
okay.
queenless colony. But it depends on. There's a whole lot of depends.
Right.
A lot of variables that you have to consider. That was a drone.
Why is the honey so dark on some and so light on the others?
Just different
Nectar
resources,
Yeah.
different nectar sources
I don't
that they're
see
taking
her.
it from. You know, here we have some pollen down here at the bottom. That's just dark
Pretty.
colors.
This is probably just honey. They're getting a little antsy.
Yeah, we'll close them up. Unless you want to take a quick look down in the rack, see if the queen is down there.
See how they manipulate that better comb?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? See the depressions and stuff?
It happens. With the better comb, I've heard that people, especially with deeps, will wire the frames just to give them a little extra support so that they don't sag or bulge in.
Tony, you want to push these together? I'm going to get this smoker going again.
Be very careful. I think it was this one that had the
Yeah.
queen cells, so I'm gonna, rather than just sliding it across, I lifted it up and moved it. And again, some of these frames had, and I can't remember which, may have been that one and then this one.
Yeah.
But again, I'm gonna lift it and move it and then place it down because there are these slatted racks down at the bottom. I don't want to catch the queen cell and bend it in any way and damage it.
think it was
So-
that one.
That one, then
and
this one.
The key frame, yeah. Yeah, they're starting to get easy.
One good thing that David's done here is on the wooden frames, he's marked 20. So he knows this is the brood area. This frame was put in 2020. So he's going to want to cycle that out in a couple of years so that he has nice, consistent. Okay, this is the frame with the 2 queen cells. So this is.
You want to shake one for a wash?
Yeah,
Or look,
we should.
look underneath first, then. Might as well.
Okay. So which frame would you do for a wash? You want to find a frame with some open brood, uncapped, that's just about to get capped. So that wasn't this one, wasn't this one. So we have some larvae here, a few. Yes.
This
So we
one
have
good?
some. Yeah, this is the frame.
Okay.
So what do we see? We see some capped brood. We see some older larvae. We see some larvae that's about to get capped up. So this is the frame we're going to shake and do a wash from.
Just triple check for queen.
Yes, you definitely want to
Yeah.
check to see the queens here.
She's unmarked.
Can you?
Yeah, of course.
I think. Okay, so
I think we just wrecked that queen cell.
I don't think so. I don't think I
No.
bent it.
It's not you, me.
Oh. Okay, so I'll take the. What you can do is there are two techniques here. With the cup. Take the cup, run it down the face, not up, but down. The bees will fall into the cup, and then you can put this right in. Or we take the frame and bang it against this white plastic tub, and then we can scoop the bees from that. So the advantage of banging the frame is that any foragers that are on here will fly away. And the foragers aren't the ones we're concerned about. We're concerned about the nurse bees that aren't flying, and that's where the mites are going to be in their dispersal phase. So, I'm going to actually just run this down.
Is it hard not to damage the capped?
I'm doing it really gently.
I see.
So we'll do this, and we have some over here on this side. Okay, where's the cup that these are going to go into? Oh, okay. So that's a little less than.
You got enough for the wash?
Yeah, we've got enough for
Got
now.
a half a cup?
It's a little less than half a cup, but we'll still take that into account when we do our count.
Hopefully the queen's not in here.
Yeah.
So Tony, I'm just swirling this. Is that how you would do it?
Yep. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Okay. Okay. we have some more here in this cup. Is that did you pour this over the? Okay, yeah. We can scoop some more bees out. Actually, I'll put this aside. We'll close this up.
Yeah, they're getting tricky. So unless she's in that slatted rack, she's probably gone, right?
Probably gone.
What do you want to do as far as these bees? You want to shake them in here too?
Yeah, might as well. So, put that hold it right over here. So if we lose any, okay. These bees will crawl around, find the entrance from the smell, as opposed to being down in the grass. Shake it, swirl it. We're gonna let it sit. Let it sit for a few minutes, come back, shake it, swirl it, let it sit for a few more minutes. Then we can drain it. Okay, on to our next colony.
Do you want a new video for that?
No, let's just keep
Okay.
going.
Okay.
And when I